Hello, we're David and Brenda Ehrensperger. We live in a small town near Birmingham, Alabama. We're speaking to you today because our son Steven was one of many innocent bystanders caught up in the tragedy of police pursuits and emergency response calls. Steven's death has been by far the most devastating thing that has ever happened in our lives. He was killed the night of November 28, 2007, just 3 months before his 21st birthday. There is no way for us to accurately convey to you the pain and grief that his death has brought upon our family.
It is especially hard because Steven's death was a needless and senseless tragedy that could have been prevented. He died when a 22-year-old police officer on the way to a possible burglary call struck Steven's car as he was turning off the roadway. The impact was so great that Steven's seatbelt was snapped as he was hurled to the opposite side of the car. He died instantly from massive internal injuries.
We had to deal with the loss of our precious son, not seeing him walk through the door or hearing him talk constantly about sports. For me, it was the loss of the hugs he had always given me since he was just a little boy. No matter what my mood, that wonderful smile he had always made me feel better. My heart literally aches to put my arms around him again.
Steven was my only son, the one that I shared all the guy stuff with. We went to sporting events together along with his grandpa. We always had deep discussions on college football, basketball, and baseball, with Steven always having to get in the last word.
We learned as time went on that there were many devastating aspects of losing a child that we had never even thought about during our initial grief. When you lose your child, you lose a major part of your future. Steven had met the girl he planned to marry, the one who would have become our daughter. We lost the grandchildren they had already chosen names for, Connor and Faith. We stood by broken-hearted as Steven's two best friends got married a year or so after he died. David took Steven's place as a groomsman in both weddings. It hurt so much to know that we would never see Steven wait at the altar for his bride.
Our grief over losing our son was made even harder by the fact that the city and police department involved did not seem to care about anything except trying to avoid being held accountable. Steven lived his whole life only a quarter mile from where he died that night. He went to school and played Little League ball there. His name is still on a sign at the ballpark from when he was on the 8-year-old All-Star team that would come in second in the state. Would it have been too much to have said, "We are sorry that your son died"?
You do not know pain until you stand in your kitchen and read the autopsy report on your child, because you have to know if he suffered, and nobody will give you the answer. Steven is never far from our hearts or our thoughts. With every day that passes, we tell ourselves that we are one day closer to seeing him. The lives of so many people were altered the night Steven died, and the world lost a wonderful young man who was a blessing to all those who knew him. Every night I sleep with the shirt that he wore as he took his last breath in this world. I kiss it goodnight and say I love you, because I know God is passing that message along to my baby.
We hope that you never are affected by such a tragedy, but we have learned that it can happen to anyone. 5 innocent people die each week as a result of police pursuits and emergency response calls, such as the one that took Steven's life. And on the average, a police officer is killed every 6 weeks.
Please join us and other members of Pursuit Safety in supporting and encouraging our law enforcement officials in discovering better ways to protect public safety while also catching the bad guys. The life that you save may be yours or someone you love.